What's going on? Alright, in this video, I'm going to go over how to have HDRI reflections in a scene, but at the same time not use the HDRI lighting. This is going to be really useful if you have some sort of shiny metallic object and you want to show it off in a more minimalistic setting, but you don't want the whole scene lit up with your HDRI. And in this example, we're going to be going over how to create a black void effect with a little bit of an environment and completely shiny reflections. In order to do this, we're going to be using the concept of multiple scenes in one Blender file, as well as CryptoMatte. So if you're already really comfortable with those two things, there's no need to watch this video. But if you're a little bit hazy on that, and if you want a specific example for how to use these things, then I think this video could be useful for you. I know this is a really specific example of a scene, but what I really want to get across here is the concepts of using a CryptoMatte and multiple scenes in one Blender file. One easy way to get a completely black background is to go into the shader editor, world, add a light path node, and use the IsCameraRay socket as the factor between your HDRI and whatever color you want to choose for your background. This is great to have complete manual control over the color of your background and still have the reflections, but you'll notice if you have any objects or anything else in your scene that the lighting of the HDRI still affects the scene. And in our specific case, we don't want the lighting there. We want it to be a black void with maybe a little bit of reflection from the ground plane. To eliminate this spill of light, once you're done with your animations and modeling, go up to the scene and make a new full copy of your current scene. You can call this one shiny or whatever you want to indicate that this is what's going to be calling the reflections. You can think of scenes kind of as multiple Blender files opened up in the same Blender project. And it's useful because we'll be able to use both of these in compositing with the CryptoMatte to composite our images together. Now go into the first scene, into the world shader settings, and change the strength value from 1 to 0. This is going to show you what the lighting around your scene is going to look like, which likely means you'll want to add some lights around in the scene to actually see parts of the reflection, because the HDRI is no longer casting any light on the scene. Now you can go back into your shiny scene, go to View Layer, and enable CryptoMatte with Object checked off. Go to Compositing, check Use Nodes, and duplicate your render layers, and set the duplicate to be the other scene. Now whenever you press render, you're going to render out 2 images, one from each of the scenes. Add a CryptoMatte node and connect the image and CryptoMatte sockets. If you have Node Wrangler on, you can Control-Shift-Click on the CryptoMatte node to cycle through until you get to the pick option. In order to pick a color though, you're going to need to make sure to have rendered out an image to pick the color from. So just hit render and that will give you that ability. This will now allow you to eyedrop the actual object that you want to mask out. In our situation, we want to take the reflective object and we want to composite it over the other image, which has the lighting of the scene that we actually want. So to composite this, eyedrop your shining object and you now have a perfect black and white mask in between whatever your object is and the background. You can use this mask as the factor in a mix node between the reflective image and the other image which has your correct lighting. Now you can connect that mix node to your composite and there you have it, a completely reflective object in a black void. More specifically in a black void that has a little bit of reflection and environment lighting around it as well. I will say real quick though that one of the most common issues I have when using this setup is that I'll render out the wrong scene layer. So just make sure that whatever you're rendering on is the correct scene that has all of the compositing nodes already set up. Also keep in mind that any changes that you make to one scene will not be duplicated in the other scene. That is unfortunately one of the caveats of using this method. I hope this has been helpful in better understanding how you can use different scenes as well as a CryptoMatte to combine different lighting choices. CryptoMatte is a really powerful and amazing tool, not only when you want to composite images over each other, but also if you want to do color correction on a specific object, changing like the hue or the saturation of it. It's really useful to have that as a tool in your belt. Do people have tools in their belts anymore? Wait, I guess we have like our phone in our pockets. It's a really useful phone in your, no, it's a really useful tool in your pocket. People don't put tools in pockets, I mean tools in belts anymore. Anyways, that's been it. I hope you enjoyed the video.